Daytona. He's like, no, you won't. I'm like, oh. Nancy says you will. Because you told me and Mike that they were going to Daytona.
Oh, I'm in the fucking. That's what.
Yeah, I redid this.
Thibodeau hit me 4 business days.
Watch that car smoke the wall. Oh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Race Day TV, the live show. I'm your host, Mark Beaudry, joined today by this gaggle of individuals. Mike Parks, the Cabana Boy, Justin Beecher, David Greenslit, and Brandon Gray. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
What's happening?
Going on?
What's up?
Not much. Just hanging out here on a Wednesday. Nothing to do, nothing to see. Just a bunch of super street royalty, street stock, late models. What else have we called them in the last 3 years? I don't know.
Too many. Too many different names.
Too many names. I know. The one thing that they're not are street stocks. So let's be honest, guys. Even if you guys I love the name. I love the name too, but they're not street stocks.
I don't know. Mine might be a street stock.
I'd say Beecher's is about the only one that still is.
Stock mounting points, so remember that.
Oh, I got to put the chat up down below so everyone can see. Got a lot of people in chat. Everyone says Brandon looks tiny.
Damn. I thought I'd been adding weight on.
We should have popped your chair up a little bit beforehand. So what's new? Who's racing where? What are we racing? What are we doing?
Well, Brandon's racing everywhere, so.
Brandon thinks he's racing dirt cars. I mean, somebody tells me they're racing 60-plus races in a year. I'm thinking dirt 358s or big blocks or something, and he's doing it in a full-fendered street stock, Tiger, whatever we want to call them. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. We're going to be at Thunder Road on Thursdays, Friday nights at Claremont, and Saturday nights at White Mountain, and then fill in between with some other stuff.
What is something that you have not raced to this point? I'm curious because you've raced about everything. Is there a type of vehicle that you have not raced yet that is on your list?
Yeah, I really haven't raced that much. People think it's a lot. Haven't had a Sportsman modified yet. Haven't had a asphalt modified yet. There's some stuff. There's some stuff we'll do.
Any plans for the modified?
Oh, no, Jason has one, so I can't. Until he gets out of a seat, I can't have a ride.
All right, real quick, I'm going to blow through all this stuff that we have to get through, and then we're going to have some fun. Guys, new offices, 9 Simon Street, Suite 104 in Nashua. If you need anything, feel free to come on down. We're there most days of the week. Northeast Motorsports Expo, January 12th through the 14th in Augusta, Maine. Claremont, Hudson, Lee, Race Day Productions, and Race Day TV will be represented. What do we like? We like podcasts, don't we? So Saturday, we're going to be doing a live Roughing Fenders podcast out of our booth, having some fun with Mr. Randy Phillips. Randy's going to be up there with all kinds of his swag, selling it as well. Who knows? It's going to be fun.
It'll be a ball.
The Race Day Productions booth is probably going to be where it's at. I know we got a big booth, so hopefully we have enough room for the audience. That's for sure. What's one of you got to come on the show?
I won't be
This
there.
weekend? Or when is that?
That is the 12th through the 14th.
Banquet.
Yeah, the banquet is the 13th. I'm not going to the banquet. Sorry, guys. I got to go up to Augusta. So that should be fun. Lee USA Speedway dropped the North American Pro Stock Nationals. Now, that is something I am pretty fired up about. Because
Find me a ride.
it pays $30,000 to win.
Gotta have a big checkbook.
But if you take the all-in ladder challenge, means you start at the pole sitter. We're going to go back through the field until the first racer accepts the challenge. The racer who accepts the challenge will receive $1,000 just for taking the challenge right up front. Boom. You want to give up your spot? Go to the back, $1,000. If that racer makes it back into the top half of the field, he'll receive an additional $2,000. If he makes it back into the top 10, he'll receive an additional $2,000. If the racer makes it back to the top 5, he will receive an additional $2,000. If the racer wins the race, they will receive an additional $3,001 to make it $40,001 to win.
That's got Derek Griffith written all over it.
Oh, he's going to go for the pole just so he's the first to get this. I've already had people send me messages and say basically they're going to fight to get to the pole because they want to be the first to take in the all-in ladder challenge. That's the question. Are you in or are you out? I mean, I would be in. What would you guys do if you were faced with that? I mean, $1,000 just to go to the rear off the start.
I mean, Mike's offered me $300 to go to the rear to try to win. So,
I mean, you got to remember this race also pays $2,000 just to start.
If it was me, I wouldn't take it.
You would not take it?
Nope.
You were out of your
It's a lot harder to pass me than it's going to be me to pass you type of deal. If I have to pass 25 of you, no, I'm staying.
200 laps.
I'm doing that all day long.
Yep.
Nope.
Live pit stop, or do we know yet?
It depends on the insurance.
Yeah.
That would be Mr. Bazowski lounging in his chair. If you notice, Mike was not allowed to sit in his chair.
No,
Ben took the
I
chair.
sat in the chair and I was like sitting on the ground. I wasn't big enough, so
I think you're going to see people jockeying just to be able to take that challenge. I really do, because Derek took it last year, a different format of it. Derek took it and he made it back to second?
he made it back. He was solidly in the top 5 and in a flat.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes. Oh, it was such a good race.
Yeah.
And he took it, no questions asked. He's like, of course I'm
He
taking this.
didn't even think twice about it.
Guys, if you are curious about the race we're talking about, you can just go to RaceDayTV.com, search Lee USA Speedway, and it's right there. I actually posted some stuff up onto our Facebook page today. Also, if you have YouTube, I know a lot of you are watching us on YouTube. Our YouTube now, we're starting to turn over the year. If you haven't noticed, we're new year. I only have so much storage for the app, so I have started making some of our races that happened in the beginning of the season free on our YouTube. So if you just search Race Day TV on YouTube, you'll find our amazing channel, that logo right there that's on the table now finally. We finally replaced that, thank God. You get to go watch some of the racing, and I throw some races up online as well for you guys to see. So that is May 17th and 18th. The North American Pro Stock National is going to be a banner event, going to be a 2-day event, camping. There'll be, if you've been to Oktoberfest, it's basically kind of the same plan around the facilities. We'll be having the free drive-in movie theater again this year. That was a huge success last year. What's that? Pig roast. Oh, I didn't know about that one yet. I hope so, because I missed both pig roasts. We had one at Claremont, one at Lee, and by the time I got the movie set up, I go over to get food, and Artie's like, sorry, dude, it's gone. I was like, come on. I'm the one fat guy here that wants it. Banquets. Let's jump right in. Trophies and awards will only be provided for those who are in attendance. That's the same way it is every year. Hudson, Lee, and the New England Dwarf Car Series, Saturday, January 13th from 6 to 11 p.m., Alpine Grove Banquet Facility in Hollis, New Hampshire. Their ticket date cutoff was last Friday, so that one is done. Claremont Motorsports Park, Saturday, January 27th. Fireside Inn and Suites in West Lebanon, New Hampshire. Ticket cutoff January 13th, guys. Get your tickets in. Mike, going to be a fun day up for that event. I'm up there that day too.
No, it'll be a good time.
I get my one banquet of the year at least. I get my Claremont one.
It'll be fine. Yeah. Actually, tickets, if somebody's having any problems getting tickets online, shoot us an email and we can make some arrangements to get you your tickets.
Yeah, any of these things, if you guys have problems doing the registrations, any of that stuff, we have an office. Reach out to us. You can come in. If you don't have PayPal or you don't have a credit card, come in. You can pay cash, check. Yes, through email or phone. Guys, Facebook messages and Facebook calls to individuals does not work anymore. You got to use the proper channels, because I don't answer Facebook, personal Facebook calls that come into me. So if you're reaching out to me on that, you're not getting it. Boy, there's a lot of good chat going on. I got to stop. I have questions. Greg Emerson, 2 things. Who's Brandon's favorite helmet guy? And why is Harry Potter on the left looking so serious?
Greg's pretty good with a helmet, I can tell you that. He's got a couple after I had the mishap.
What mishap?
Damn helmet tried to fly.
I think I've seen videos of this out there. I think like it was 187,000 other people have probably seen it too. Not that one?
This is a different idea. This was championship night last year at Thunder Road.
Ah.
Helmet did not make it through the little window.
Oh.
It tried.
It tried.
It tried.
And then
It
rolled
tried.
back down
It
the
rolled
racetrack.
down the racetrack.
I have told Greg 100 times, I think his helmets are great. If he wants to do up a cool helmet that has the RaceDayTV logo on it and the Greg Emerson, was it Night Owl Creations logo on it?
Put it on the backdrop.
It'll be right on the backdrop behind. So if you want to throw together an El Cheapo one.
Whoa, no. Let's try to plan this out accordingly. We'll give him some free, and then maybe he can do
he knows. I've already
a championship trophy or some helmet or something. And
me and Greg have already been in touch for a fun thing this year that will be happening at Lee USA Speedway. So he knows what I'm talking about. So we got to have some cool stuff for there. Let's see. Are any of you guys going to race minivans this season at Hudson Speedway?
It's all him.
No. Don't have a minivan.
come on, you've done everything else. No minivan?
We demo them, but
Yeah, okay.
Also an SUV.
yeah. We're bringing
Never say never. Brandon
Yeah.
can always show up in something.
an Escape to Groveton next week.
There you go.
So
I have never seen a division that has the talk about it has grown more than that. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of people who've already signed up for that division. I see somebody selling one on Marketplace the other day that was just like, this would be great for the Hudson Hippos. I was like, you know what? It probably would be.
Yeah.
So that's banquet. Let's see. Oh, we're at the fun part now. Question and answering with these guys.
So I kind of had an idea a couple weeks ago, month ago, off and on,
I'm going to stay quiet over
to
here.
try to get 3 of our street stock guys or super street guys together and just have a bullshit session. Can I say that? Is that all right?
You can swear.
Okay, all right. So, thought of David, Brandon, Justin, just to have what's the word I'm looking at? Just a roundtable discussion about super street racing.
Have a shindig.
Yeah. So why the super street division for you guys? What is it that draws you to that division?
I mean, I've been running it since back in 2010 on and off, and the camaraderie in the division and whatnot has been great over the years. I mean, last couple of years we've had some piss poor attitudes, but for the most part, I mean, me and Justin and Brandon usually talk about daily. I mean, outside of the track and whatnot, and we go out there and lay it all on the track when we're racing each other. It's get out and have a beer afterwards, and it's a good time.
Brandon, what do you think?
well, I mean, I like the street stocks or super streets just because that was what's offered to me. But I went to the super streets in 22 when I was on a little break there.
Little hiatus.
Yeah, a little hiatus.
Yeah.
What
That
did you race
happens.
before?
Had a Tiger before that, but we're on a little.
He was on a hiatus.
Yeah, we're on a year off hangout session.
Yeah.
So I went to it because you can have 2 different types of cars. There's going to be 20, 25 cars every night, and you can go to 5, 6 different places that kind of have that same baseline package between Groveton all the way down to, I don't know what's as far south, Hudson, I guess.
Yeah, Hudson, Monadnock, Star.
So you can have one car that fits 5 or 6 different places, has a resale value when you're done, and obviously 25 cars at the race is where we all want to be.
Yep. Justin, what about you?
My old man raced street stocks back in the day. Definitely a little bit different.
Your old man?
nowadays.
I didn't know he raced.
Yeah, he ran for a while.
Oh,
he
no
ran
kidding.
Hudson. And I don't know. I love street stocks. I feel like it's the best racing. And I mean, it's always fun. I feel like everyone's pretty good friends too. And
The one question I get asked a lot about you is, why are you so good in a street stock and not in a modified?
Ouch.
I only say that because I overheard him telling somebody that exact thing online.
well, I'm still green modified. I don't have too many races under my belt.
I'm just busting your chops.
I was thinking money couldn't buy talent.
Daggers are being thrown here just a little bit.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep trying on the mod. Just gotta get better, more seat time.
Now, are you going to run? You're going to Smyrna with
Yeah.
a 602 in the car.
Yep.
Are you going to put a 604 in it and race any of our stuff at Hudson and Claremont?
Yeah,
Oh, you are.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I'll be
I-
back. I'll be back this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were finishing up building the garage at our house.
Yep.
So
Nice.
that's where all the funds were going this year.
Yep.
Jeffrey Pike asked, is there another division you guys would like to try if the opportunity came up?
I don't think I'd fit.
You'd fit in Ben's.
I'll drive it whenever you want.
Now, David, you used to race modified and you love it. If that opportunity ever presented itself, would you jump right back in?
Yeah, I mean, I'd jump in one. We may have something in the works to maybe run one once or twice
Really?
this year, but I can't say anything else on that. I got to talk to the wife a little more on that one.
Oh, look at that. We're getting some scoops here,
I
too,
do.
yeah?
I do like
You
that.
know? So,
Rodman says you'll fit in his car too.
Sounds good.
so if you think back about the Super Street class, what are some of the things you kind of touched on it? The things that you like about it. What are some of the things that you dislike about it?
I wasn't even going to bring that comment up. His wife. Wow.
So, what is there things that you dislike about the class? Let's be brutally honest and just and talk about
I
it.
mean, back when I started this, I think that the drivers as a whole were a lot closer. You also didn't have as much money in these cars. I mean,
Sure.
I feel as this division, when it was street stocks, was the best it was, and I feel it kind of got out of hand a little bit rules wise, and
Evolution.
That's why they're not street stocks anymore.
Yeah.
That's why you have the Ridge Runner class.
Yeah.
Everybody used to get along and have a good time and whatnot, and now it's a little more cutthroat in the division. Which, I mean, that's all part of racing. When you start adding more money into a division, it starts getting a little more like that. I mean, it's a lot of us still get along great and whatnot, but there is.
I think that's the majority of the
Yeah.
guys at Claremont, isn't
There's
it?
a-
Isn't it the
yeah,
majority
there's
of
a few.
everybody gets along?
Yeah, most of us get along. I mean, there's a couple of them that are just piss poor sports and don't like getting beat and whatnot. So
What I told him on the way down is I said, when I raced Claremont that one year, so you know when you race in town, there's always more politics and more.
Ain't that the
drama.
truth?
When I raced at Claremont, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
I went home and it was like you don't see anybody at the store.
It's really funny that you said that because I raced for Nathan Kelly for
Right.
Nathan and I raced together for years, and years ago we decided we were going to go race at Monadnock for that exact same reason, because we could go there and race and come home
And it was
and
done.
not hear a word. Of course, we didn't have the internet and all that bullshit back then, so we could go and race.
Yeah, the
and not-
60s were really rough.
yeah, no, let's not get carried away. But you're right. You're 100% right. You're out of town. You don't know everything that was going on. But when we were racing in town, we raced all week.
Yep. You raced at the grocery store.
You raced everywhere.
Yeah. No,
So
I mean, you used to bring your friends to the track with you, right?
I ain't got many. That's the problem.
Hey, I
That's
gotta
your
tell
number
you,
one quote.
I was at Thunder Road sitting in the grandstands that night when you got interviewed, and I don't remember the exact words. Everybody was kind of booing him.
I was watching.
Brandon was being branded on the racetrack, and he didn't cross the line, but he raced hard, and he got out of the car, and the fans were kind of getting on him a little bit, and he kind of thanked everybody, and he says, "I'm not here to make friends. I bring my friends with me," and I thought that was the absolute perfect scenario.
I've never been booed so bad in my life. I was like, wow, I thought that was a hell of a show.
It
Like, I
was a
like,
great race. Yeah.
Nobody got moved.
No.
What
Nobody
did you
got
do
wrecked.
to them to make them so not like you? Because the boos were deafening on Flo. So I was like, what's going on
Was
here?
that just chewing on the left rear? It wasn't even.
No,
that bad.
he was protecting. So he had the same type of car I did, Nick's sweet car, and they're built by him and they're maintained by him and they're set up by him, and he was just protecting, and he made one mistake.
Yeah.
One mistake, and I had shoved my nose in there many times, but I was trying to do it the polite way, ish. And
You couldn't have done anything more than what you did that night.
no, it was borderline, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Yep.
No, we're good.
That's good.
I was gonna say I didn't really see you race dirty, and the times that I've seen you race at Claremont, and then that whole thing you say is true because I remember seeing you go out there and finish up front, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like I didn't know who you are. I didn't follow Thunder Road. I didn't go there other than to do photography, so I had to look you up, and I was like, oh okay, now I know who you are. And how long did it take the crowd at Claremont to like you? Because you were a pretty good fan favorite over there.
David has all the fans at Claremont. No, I don't know it. I don't.
I mean, you were racing kids class there in 2009, 10. Yeah.
With
You did-
Maddie. With Maddie.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't remember
Maddie
that
Salter
either.
and I started in 09 together.
Makes me feel really old.
Yeah, you had a green. No, you had Lovely's old car.
Yeah, I raced a Tiger
That's right.
car
Yeah, I
back
remember
then.
that.
Yeah.
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 It was white
I
and
didn't
red.
realize you were in the kids class at Claremont back in the day.
2 years.
I didn't
Oh,
even
no
know there was
shit.
a kids class.
Yeah.
I mean,
A
it was
lot
off
of good
and on.
drivers
It was-
came out of that class.
Yeah, Andrew Martell was with us. Craig Smith was with us.
Weasel? Was
Weasel.
Weasel with you at that
He
time?
was.
Or
He's a lot
already
older than me.
little older?
Yeah.
Was Joey Jarvis or was Joey
older than me.
He was already gone through.
Yeah, you had Joey, Ben Poland, you had
They were
Steven
Dylan.
Donahue.
Yeah, there was
Donahue
a
was
bunch
in it.
of them.
Yeah, they were-
Donahue, LeCaire, Walt Hammond.
There was a lot of quality race car drivers that came through that kids class at Claremont over the years.
And there was Hunter.
Is that your
said that.
friend Hunter?
That's his co-pilot.
Yeah.
Co-pilot. That's awesome. How did you get involved in the whole enduro scene? How did that come about?
My old man was a wicked shoe in enduros. He won enduros from Groveton to Mass Border back to Thunder Road, and it just kind of
Hunter didn't like your comment.
he's fine. So as a family, we always raced on Saturday nights at Bay Ridge, and then there's always the county fairs and the enduros and stuff, and just always took a liking to them. You can spend $500 and have way more fun.
Your dad was a wheelman.
Yeah.
I used to race against him at Thunder Road back in the day.
Yep.
We had some battles.
09.
Yep.
Yeah. 08. 08, 09, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Didn't you leave? I might have my facts wrong here. Didn't you leave a race at Claremont to go race an enduro after you finished?
Championship night. He won championship,
and he was gone.
I was gone. They're like, you want to stay and drink? No. And they're at Bay Ridge.
Yeah,
That's
he had to-
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't get old for you,
No.
at all.
No. And if it ever does, I just think about like the time period from like October 20th to like when snowmobiling normally start January now. I'm bored.
Yep.
Like really bored.
Looks like you got a lot more boredness coming too, because I don't know how good that snowmobile season's going to be.
Don't say that.
Come on.
Beecher is always up there, so we get plenty of good time in at the bars.
So, Justin, what is it you like or don't like? What is it you don't like about the class, or is there anything?
I mean, I don't really think there's anything that I dislike in the class. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like.
As much as you busted my balls about,
I know, I'm like- I'm like losing my mind here.
I'm giving you the perfect
Yeah, I know, that
opportunity.
is true. I mean, I can't really say I hate it because it goes pretty.
It goes
good.
pretty good, doesn't it?
I hate
do you remember somebody telling you that?
So you're a believer.
No,
Yeah,
He's
don't
a
like-
believer.
he is. Yeah,
I don't
he
like
is.
being. It's a crate motor compared to a built motor is like a built-in traction control. You can literally get on the gas so much harder than a built motor. Where a built motor, you have to actually have throttle control. That's what I don't like about it.
But what
Okay, that's fair.
But does it rip with a crate motor because it has so much more torque and you can
Yeah.
use it? Yeah, 100%. Do
Yeah, well-
I like the style of racing better?
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
But everybody has the same thing. So if you outshoe them, you outshoe them.
Yeah.
So not gonna outpower them. You got the same thing I got.
Yeah, that's true.
So I David outshoot us.
So let me ask you this:
Not last year.
Did you run just the crate motor last year?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my star car, I have a built motor. But
Okay. When was the last time you ran the built motor at Claremont?
When he blew up and I won.
yeah.
That's a good reason to run a crate motor, but that's besides the
that
point.
motor was junk.
Okay, so
That thing was humming.
we put the restrictor plate on.
Stupid.
No, just shut up and listen for a minute. Now, you can tell me it's stupid all you want, but you and I have had this conversation 800 million times.
Yep.
How bad did it affect you at Claremont?
So bad.
No, stop
Oh
it.
my-
Oh
here
my
we go.
God.
Mike, I finished second the only time I ran with a restrictor plate.
Okay, but that.
Wait, listen. 1 second. I finished behind Dave. I'm pretty sure Dave was in China. He was probably a straightaway on me. The only reason why I finished second is because I started third. And
Is that tonight your car was so tight you couldn't step on the gas?
even if it was free, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
that was the night.
I don't remember who it was. It might have been Zelensky, who was in second for a little while, or Grenier, one of them. I kept crossing him up to get the run out of 2, and I would be literally right there, and then he would pull me by 2 car lengths.
When you couldn't step on the gas.
No, I was on the gas, 100%.
Come on.
100%.
All right, so we have a question. What is the reasoning for the restrictor plate?
For the simple fact is 3 years ago, 4 years ago, the gentleman sitting at the far left was going to take his crate motor out of his car and go to one of the motor builders and spend at least double as to what a crate motor cost.
Oh, we ran a built motor one whole season there, took it out at the end of the year and put a crate in.
Yeah, and then I had guys that were going to be taking crate motors out and having motors built, and we couldn't have that. So, but we're also in the point where we can't tell the guys not to run the shit they have. So, working with RPM, we came up with the restrictor plate, and with the plate, we've had guys win with plates.
You just can't start deep in the field.
Well,
If you
no
start
more-
on the pin, you can be fine. But like once, even like the race that I'm talking about, once I was in second, I just kept it wound up like crazy. Like there's an in-car camera of me. You can hear how like heavy I was on the throttle and stuff. But keeping it wound up, it wasn't horrible.
Is that one of my in cars?
I believe it was.
So it's on
Yeah,
the
it's
YouTube page.
It's on YouTube. Yep.
Yep.
Once you keep it wound up, it's fine. Like if you're not in open
like a crate
space,
car.
Yeah.
if you're in open space, it's not horrible. But if you're trying to make moves and cross someone up and like get a run on someone,
Yeah.
it's never going to work because it takes all the torque away.
A guy like me though, that's not a mechanic at all. I don't want the built motors. I don't want to have to go spend 12 grand, have to be worried about that motor and have to adjust valves and do this stuff. I want the same truck engine that everybody else has.
There's pros and cons all the way around, for sure.
I mean, Mike never used to be a crate guy back in the day.
Oh, God, no.
Him and Nathan always had built.
Oh, we always have built motors, and even running the pro stock stuff. Jay Cushman's on here. He says he's always gets on me about crate motors on the Granite State side. We were the absolute last ones locally that ran the built motors, and we put a crate motor in, and I said I should have done that 5 years sooner. I mean, it's just it was for us it was better, but so. But anyways, what else? Brandon, do you learn how to measure a spoiler yet?
Yeah.
Okay, just that
Dennis,
was what.
Dennis will make sure I know how to measure.
Yeah.
a
Okay.
spoiler.
All right. Yeah. And so your quarters are down where they belong, so you can actually have a spoiler.
I just think our frame heights are so far out of whack. Oh, metric cars, man.
What happens when the deck lid's above the height?
That's what it was. Sitting there cutting off and just cutting. That's close. No. More.
That was a sharp car, though.
It was whatever. It was a metric.
Well, you
What?
did prove because you ran competitive at Claremont with the metric car, and all we heard for 2 years is if it's not a Camaro, it's not winning,
I'm a
or
firm
it's not running up front.
I'm a firm believer. I drove Barusso's car at the end of the year, September. So mind you, I've been in a Tiger car at that time, which is a metric car, 35 races prior. I got in that Camaro and I said, "Holy shit!" They turn and they drive up off a corner. I'm like, nobody.
Yeah, but, okay, so let me ask you this. You jumped into the car that you had, which was an old BFR car, if I remember correct.
I don't know what it was.
I believe so.
I think you bought that from
Wenzel.
Timmy, yeah. So I'm pretty sure that was an old BFR car.
Old.
Old, yeah, an old car.
Hey, don't say anything about old cars.
Yeah. No, old cars, and there's nothing wrong with that. Do you think if somebody built a new metric car, we're going to find out because I think that's what Chris has. I think Chris has a brand new BFR car being built right
Chris
now.
Lindquist.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
I think like BFR is good, but like if I was going to build a metric car,
Yeah.
there's one guy that's going to build it. It's going to be Nick.
Yeah, it'd be Nick.
And
Yeah.
I think if Nick, and that's Nick Sweet, I think if he put the time in, maybe. But I'm really telling you, there's a huge, especially at Claremont, where your front end has to work
Okay,
to get
so
settled, and then you need to drive up off. Claremont is a very tough place to take a metric car and compete.
is it? And I've said this in any division. Good race teams win races.
That's true.
And if you take a look at the people who are running Camaros,
Yeah.
Camaro type cars at Claremont,
You said this to me in 22, the exact words.
Yeah, it's good race teams win races. You could take David or yourself or Justin and put all you guys back in metric cars, and over a period of time, you guys would figure them out, and you would still win races.
I mean, we bought a metric car. I don't remember when it was, 21, 20,
I think it was the end of 20.
somewhere in
was
there.
the end of 20.
And we
It
went
was
down to
the-
Hudson. We bought it off of Renfrew.
Yeah,
We went
the
down to
00.
Hudson with it.
Yep.
And we won. I mean, granted, we started on the pole, but
Yeah.
we won. We also had 800 horsepower. But
When I raced there were super streets when I raced at Claremont. They went from street stocks. I remember showing up with my 305, and Dennis said, "Congratulations, we're doing super streets now. You can have a 355." And I had no money. I show up with this 305, and everybody back then wanted metric. So there was something different at that point where nobody wanted to be in a Camaro, and that was in the early 2000s. I think that was 03-ish, and they all wanted metric cars back then. So it kind of ebbs and flows into whatever somebody. One thing I've noticed with racing, I mean, believe this or not, it's kind of a lot of monkey see, monkey do. People see David do something in a certain chassis, now they want that chassis.
That's true.
Absolutely.
But how many guys have gone and bought a Davis car, and for years he's killed everybody with a Davis car? That's
But that was my next thing. I mean, you run a Davis chassis. You're getting into a new 360 car.
Yep.
You run George's cars, Baldwin cars. Yep. So why is that? How did you end up with Jeremy? How did you end up with Nathan? How did you end up with George? I mean, what do you think the differences are, and why did you go the path that you went?
I mean, we sat down. My car owner sat down with me, Tony, and we talked a little bit. And Jeremy was racing on iRacing with us a little bit, and that was Tony's deal. He wanted to go somewhere else and have something different than everybody else.
Than everybody else.
And I mean, Jeremy's been really good with us. And anytime we have questions or anything,
The car works.
call him, and he's on the phone. He's very, very knowledgeable and has helped us out with everything. I mean,
How many races have you won with that car?
I think it's 21 on that car.
How many
Something like
championships?
that. We've had it for 3 years and won 3 championships.
And it kind of baffles me that nobody else has gone. And I'm sure Jeremy is scratching his head too.
Hagar's the only one that's
That's right,
gone
Robert.
there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Robert did buy
Didn't
one.
Robert
That's
go to a
right.
Gen 4 though?
yeah.
Yeah, he had a
and then
Gen
you can't-
4,
and then he had
and
to
then he
sell
had
it
a
'cause
metric car from him, and
Yeah.
his metric car went really good at the beginning
Yeah.
of last year.
Yeah.
He was ripping at one point
Yeah.
last year.
And how did you end up?
So I got blessed to by Robbie Streeter and Nate Kelly, obviously,
Okay.
to get into a new Camaro, which is
Yeah.
a new 360 car that Nate's building and owned by Robbie. And I had to race against him for a few years, the 360s, and it's going to be pretty cool to get back into one of those.
That's right. So with your relationship with Matt, you're familiar.
Familiar with what a 360 looks
it's
like, and I know
yeah.
it's not what my metric looks like.
There's some weird things on the back of it.
Oh, there's these things are like 4 feet long. They got some bushings in them, and they move. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, what's that? All right.
I mean,
No.
Brandon's going to be tough in that thing this year.
Well, I mean, I think everybody in that class
Yeah.
is going to be tough.
I mean, this kid can drive anything.
Yeah.
though.
Oh, Jesus.
Not to blow his head up any more than it already is, but
Hey, the doors are only so big in this place. So if you blow up his ego anymore, there you ain't
Can't
gonna
get out.
of here.
So
No.
how did you end up with George? Have you always
I've
been a George guy?
Yeah, always been a Georgia guy. I mean, even back when I first started in the kids class, I had a Nissan, and we were bringing that car down to George either way.
Yeah.
He was helping us with that thing, and up through all the ranks, Mustang, back into the Camaros. I've always been George. He's right down the street from us, and
Yep.
in my opinion, I think he's the best in the business when it comes to Camaros. I
Yep.
mean, he changed street stocks, in my opinion. And everyone that runs them, we all I mean, there's so many stout cars that have Baldwin. I mean, championship at Star with Gendron.
Sure.
Renfro's always ran them. I've ran them, won some championships. There's a lot of good names that have Baldwin cars, and they always go good.
Georgie knows his stuff. I mean, he's another one. Very, very knowledgeable guy.
Yeah, he's been racing.
I raced against him a few times.
Yeah,
I
forever.
beat him
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that I didn't beat him, but I beat him once by about an inch and a half at Monadnock.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited,
Yeah.
because you guys are talking about having a guy behind you that's knowledgeable, and I usually don't have. And I think having Nate behind me
Oh yeah, for
is
sure.
going to make huge differences. I'm pretty excited.
I'm just a dumbass, and Nathan and I raced together.
And you won.
And I won.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. If I can win some races with him turning wrenches, there's no question in my mind that you should be able to do that as well.
Blind squirrel finds a nut. every once in a
Absolutely.
while.
Absolutely. That's,
It happens.
So what else? You guys are like way too quiet.
Thought we were,
I thought it was questions. I thought
Okay.
I'm waiting on you.
Well, I openly said, let me get back on mic because Ben stole my spot. This is a round table. If you guys have things that you're curious about, I hear on our end all the time, you guys don't know what you're doing, this and that, that's dumb, this is dumb, I'll do this, I'll do that. This is an open house for you to ask some questions.
I think that the races at Claremont in the Super Street class should be longer.
I 100% agree.
Based on
What, like 30 laps or something, or what?
not by a lot.
50
No,
every
absolutely
single
not.
Every
50?
single week.
Absolutely not. So
Maybe a lot
based
of torn
on
up cars after that.
based on having 20, 25 cars every week.
I have no problem with doing
Right.
that.
So I'm not saying basing it on. I'm saying that's what the division usually program, like usually 20, 25 cars.
40.
If you're starting the point leader 12th or you're starting the point leader 14th, needs to be 30 laps.
And he's
30 to
30 to
35 laps.
35.
And everybody goes to the racetrack. I don't care what the keyboard warriors say. They go to watch the Super Streets.
Yeah, we have absolutely talked about that, and I have no problem increasing feature laps for Super Street Division as long as car count warrants it. I'm not gonna, we can't.
I don't have a problem with that
Yeah,
either.
I mean, we can't.
30 laps, 35 laps, that would be 35 is pushing it, I think, on a weekly because it's a third mile,
Yeah,
not a quarter.
you
But
got to remember, Modifieds raced at Claremont for years and years and years, starting 24 mods, racing 35 laps.
but it was
For
35
years
laps
and
every
years.
week.
Yeah,
So you knew what you had.
yeah.
I mean, it
You
has
know?
to stay consistent. It can't be 30 this week because we have 26, and then next week we only have 18, so it's back to 25.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just put it
the
at
fans
30.
want to see the battles out there.
Yeah.
And you give them 30-lap race, 35-lap race. I think
That's
it's going to be
some-
good,
that-
especially with the
that's-
competition we have now.
That's-
I mean,
that's
it's huge.
Well, you got to remember too, though, if it's a shorter lap race, it's
Guys get up on the wheel.
guys get up on the wheel and
Yeah.
try and get up
You
front
might be
faster.
on the wheel, but you still run out of time.
exactly.
If you don't have a
Well-
caution in there, it's like,
Well, use the front bumper.
Jesus Christ.
And then you have Mike yelling.
No. You say it's not me
No,
this year.
no,
It's
no,
not
no,
me
no, no,
this
no.
year.
And I've had a couple Baldwin cars before, and his front bumpers are like that thick.
Yeah, they're pretty
You know what?
stout.
Just use the bumper. And
So when I lose my ride because Robbie said he's all done putting front bumpers on.
well, hey, it doesn't mean I'm a good influence. It's just it's either or. I mean, come on.
Hey, I can tell you one thing that if Nathan is in the pit area with you on race night, he's going to tell you every week, do not take the nose off the car. Bring the car back with the nose and fenders on it, and you'll finish up front.
He
every
showed
time.
me Schoolcraft's shroud, the front shroud that runs to the nose. There wasn't a wrinkle in that thing. He raced at Thunder Road all season. There wasn't a wrinkle in that. I'm like, I hope you're not expecting this.
So, the other thing I wanted to ask you guys, tires. One thing that I look back on when we had the COVID year, when tires were at a premium, and we did nights with no tires, and then one tire, then we did nights with no tires. I think everybody learned that at that time, leading up to that year, everybody spent way too much money on tires.
Last year, we spent way too much.
Yeah.
There should have been no way that we should have been getting 2 tires every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
So, so you're happy with what we did with the one tire a week?
Yes.
And
Yep.
you got to run it that night.
Yep. I
And-
mean, I could see weeks you
I hate
don't even get any.
Well,
but-
let me explain to you the reason as to why.
But what about the guys that come in out of town? How does that work?
When?
So like,
Like a new car?
yeah, if
kinda
a new
comes
guy
in?
shows up, what does he do? Does he bolt 4 brand new ones on?
Well, it depends on
It
if
depends
he's,
on
if he's
when
bought
it
his
is.
inventory or not.
It depends on when it is in the season and where he has been racing.
Okay, so if he's been at Hudson or been at
yeah,
Lee-
yeah.
So how it's going to work is the first race you race at either Hudson or Claremont, you'll be able to buy your initial inventory,
which is
which is 8.
sweet.
Okay, the first time. If you don't buy them that day, they're gone.
Yep.
You have to buy them that first day. Okay, and then internally, we're gonna say, okay, Brandon, David, Justin bought their 8 tires.
So I can't go to
That's
lead.
right.
No, you can't go to track and say,
Right.
okay, I'm getting my 8. And then, yeah, no.
So the
Like we
next
tried
race
that
you
year?
go to,
yes,
did that in
yes, like
22.
that time you tried
Yeah.
that year.
In 22, we went to Banana for that reason.
Yeah. So the next race you go to, you'll be able to buy one tire. Okay, but you have to run the tire you purchase has to be run that night, and this is the reason why is we had people going from racetrack to racetrack for a tire buy.
Well, so if you're gonna do it that way, why don't you just do one a week? Say you run multiple tracks, then say I race Claremont Friday night,
Yep.
and then I'm at Hudson.
Mhm.
I buy one tire, and then I can't buy one at Hudson.
No, no,
You get one every night you go to the
you
racetrack.
just don't buy one.
Well, then that putting on a new tire every single week is stupid. Why can't you bank tires?
Because it's
Because what's going to happen is that in championship night, the guy that's banked like 6 tires.
because it's not yeah, but it's not.
But that's just it, though. It's one more game that we don't want to play.
It's one more
but
game
that's
you got to
not-
watch,
That's
too.
not,
That's
that's
the
not
problem.
really.
The only way that works banking tires is if each track had its own individual tire rule. That's not feasible.
I understand that, but I mean that's
Why is it fair for Justin or Brandon or whoever to come to Claremont on Friday, buy his tire,
Yeah.
throw it in the trailer, go to Hudson? Go to Hudson on Sunday, and the poor guy that races just at Hudson can only buy one, and you buy another one, and you.
that's what I'm
It's
saying.
even more.
Yeah, no, it's not fair.
That's what I'm saying though. Make it one a weekend. Because
What difference does it make? If you're not going to buy it, don't buy it. Buy it at Hudson.
that's not me saying I'm not gonna buy it. This is me.
Sure, I know exactly what you're saying.
This is me saying I want to run the same set of tires 3 weeks in a row, and then I have 3 new tires. That's just playing the game. Like,
Yeah,
That's-
that's what we're eliminating.
I
why?
think it's
That's-
smart. I think the one tire a week and you make it run it. The only problem that it comes in is it makes it even better. Is it makes you spend more time in the tire shed, making sure that thing measures up just perfect.
I mean, I'm in the tire shed to begin with all day long.
The biggest thing,
I measure every tire in that place every week.
the biggest thing was preventing guys from going to different racetracks for a tire buy, throwing them in their trailer, then going to the track that they're racing for points at.
Which I understand that.
That was the whole reason.
That's not even the logic I'm making, though. I'm saying if you randomly show up at a different place, then I understand that. But if you're saying, like, I only run Hudson this year, which I'm not, relaxed.
No, whatever. I get it.
I want to be able to play the game that I'm not on the same tire
Yeah,
strategy.
but that makes for
every
shitty
single week.
racing too.
How?
Everybody's on a different tire. Everybody's on a different tire program.
That's just making the drivers.
Yeah. Agree to
smarter.
disagree.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that.
You know, I mean, everybody that I have talked to, I'm going to say it's 80% liked what we did with the tires.
Then you're just mounting tires every single week and
It's
doing
one.
It takes the money out
still-
of the game
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So when you had, I'm going to call it the way it is. When you had Jimmy Run Through racing a street stock, buying tires whenever Jimmy Run Through wanted tires, it killed it. I think just having one tire a week, you run it, you know what you got, you know going to the racetrack every Friday night or Saturday night, I'm getting a right rear or it needs to be a left rear. When you go in the tire shed, you know what you're buying.
Which I understand that, but I'm not.
And we're all in the same boat.
I think George kind of summed it up.
What George said.
Oh, Charlie, sorry.
Juice.
Juice.
Well, yeah, you know, I have ideas too about that because if that becomes an issue, we'll cross that bridge.
I mean, I could see some nights not even having any.
Yeah, absolutely.
did that back in COVID year.
We did
Yeah.
that. Yeah, absolutely. You know, like I said, my biggest concern was guys going to different racetracks for a tire buy and putting the guy that's not in the position to do that farther and farther behind, and that's
It puts
exactly
them
what
farther
was.
and farther behind in the beginning of the season. It puts them even farther
They're
behind at the end
end.
of the year, and that's when you always see these tracks go from 25 to
Yeah.
17
Yeah.
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You got to keep it financially feasible, and racing's at the point where it's already too much.
Yep. What else?
What?
I was confused at the little.
No, trust me. I'm like, okay. So I'm actually trying to figure out like all the buttons that Mark has and everything. And I'm trying not to screw it up. And I'm like, oh wait, what if I do this and if I do that? And it's like, you know,
Ben's having fun.
I'm having fun on this side. This is cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now Ben sees why sometimes I'm not exactly in the conversation
Yeah.
because I got like 50 million things going on over here.
I tell you one thing, I'd screw this podcast up big time if I was here. Yeah, which I'm about to in like 2 seconds. But.
Has there been any good questions in there?
Yeah,
Oh,
is
yeah.
there anything?
We
Yeah,
can't see
Corey
'cause
Bly says to
Marcy's
slap
not updated.
Beecher, which
Nice.
I
Thanks,
could
Corey.
do that. Hold on a
Appreciate
minute here. Let's see.
Only Ricky can slap Justin.
And me.
Who's Ricky? Oh, Bly maybe?
Must be.
Yeah. It's fine.
Let's double click that.
So there was a question in there I saw about belt motors and crate motors and what the price difference is now. And I know we priced one out at RPM the other day. It was $7,100, all said and done.
Fair?
No, that dress with the carburetor, everything.
No.
Okay, so
And I mean, your belt motor, you're looking at, we were more than that just to rebuild one.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know. It's been so many years since I've been involved with that part of it, as far as actually opening my wallet and doing it. But I would bet you wouldn't build a competitive Super Street motor for less than 12 grand. I'm guessing. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But if you think about a brand new crate motor, fully dressed, everything, all the way to clutch, brand new carb, you're spending 12 grand.
Okay, how long are you gonna race it?
I'm mine to make a year.
I mean, a year, and then you're changing springs, which is $100, $200, whatever it
Okay.
is.
That's it.
So, well,
I'm rebuilding a built motor after a year.
Yeah.
But
so here's a good
But you're
question.
not
Here's a good
rebuilding it
question.
for
I'll put it
12
up on the
grand.
thing right here. So take a look at it. See what you guys think.
what's the one thing?
What's the?
What's the one thing you change about the division?
Getting rid of the interior tin rules.
Okay, that actually was my gripe on that because a lot of you jackasses were trying to turn them into pro stocks.
Well, I got the Nate's the other day, and I'm looking, and I'm like, so I'm sitting in the seat, and I'm like, Nate, like, this is kind of where I want things. He's like, no, they're going here. This is what this doing, and that's not allowed. I'm like, what?
Well,
He's like, no.
They can have a footbox, and
Kind of.
and the firewall's got to be somewhat in stock location.
And flat all the way across.
Yes.
yeah.
I was like,
Because, okay, think of it. Think of it this way. The whole right side of the car, if you can look down it to see the whole back, that's the air going right by the car. You need to have some kind of drag in there because if you don't, it's just another advantage.
There was a brand new, I don't know if you guys can hear me. There was a brand new car, 2021, ran at Claremont a couple times. Mostly it was a Hudson car. You'll know which car I'm talking about. Completely brand new. You would look up.
Who is it?
You would pull the hood off, and you would, if that tail panel wasn't there, you would look straight out the back of the car.
whose was it?
It would be Austin's 22.
Yeah, and then
Like that. That was not a street stock Austin.
Yeah,
Camaro
and
that
as
you
soon as
built?
I saw that, I go, yeah, no. And it's funny because I'll take full responsibility. I'm the one that griped about the whole thing. Go, no way. These are now turning into full-blown pro stocks with stock clips on them.
Right.
And that's why I griped about the tin. And, if you guys want to bitch at me about it, I'm the guy to talk to. So.
I just like the way I just like when they kind of taper, you know.
because you want to act or pro stock
Yeah.
interior.
I think the
The poor man's pro stock over here.
difference right now.
I think the biggest
Next year's name, Poor Man Pro.
Yeah, poor man's pro stock. That's the name we're going to call him next year.
the biggest thing with the division, I think, and I've just this is sitting back and watching what Thunder Road does. We need to lock the rules and not change anything.
Well, we pretty much did
Yeah,
that this
very
year.
minimal
we
stuff,
did
yeah.
very minimal
But
rule changes this year.
That'll help grow the division.
Yeah.
All divisions. I mean,
Yeah, because I'll say
it's not costing as much
Andrew
money for
Brusso,
people.
where's my damn transponder?
He's got it. Him and I talked.
All right, he's already complaining about side exit exhaust, but where's my side where's my side exit exhaust? No, where's my transponder?
Yeah.
Until I get my transponder, then I'll listen to you.
so. Like he says about Thunder Road, there's a guy. His name's Jason Pelkey.
Yep.
Great guy, great family. Their car has got to be a mid '90s chassis. Like it is old and it is battered.
But
And
nothing's changed.
He almost won the championship
Yeah,
with it because
nothing's changed.
nothing's ever changed in 20
Yeah.
years. And you can run the same car and continue, and there's no advantages at this point.
There's nothing wrong with an old car.
No.
What year
that's-
is yours?
Mine was built for McKennedy in 2001.
For McKennedy?
John McKennedy, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And that was built as a hobby stock.
You still have a stock floor, right?
Stock floor, stock firewall, subframe connectors.
Really?
If you go underneath it, you need a tetanus shot.
That's like my old car.
Yeah.
Things stick.
That one was built on jack stands in a shop.
I was gonna say, me and Dave for the belt championship, we were both under the car, and we both were like, "Wow, these are the two oldest cars in the division."
That's funny though. Like, if you're thinking how old your car is, how many new cars have been built lately? More now than ever, or more now in the last 10,
Well,
15 years than there has been.
I look at the Claremont situation is what in the past. How many new cars have been built for the Super Street division in the past 4 years?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot of good
Zulu
cars.
Yeah.
Pretty much
360
all
cars.
the
Yeah.
360 cars.
You know, so that tells me that everything might not be 100% perfect by any sense. I don't think it is anywhere.
But it's close.
But it's close because people are investing in this division.
But with people building new cars, do you think that these old cars shouldn't be working anymore?
No, because they still are.
They still are.
They still are because the
Yeah.
rules
But
are
why
pretty
is
close.
But why is everyone building new cars then?
Monkey see, monkey do. To an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys that built new cars. David, when was the last time you got a new car? 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Okay. Do you have any aspirations of getting another one anytime soon?
No.
There's no reason to. I mean, your car, I think now is as fast as it's ever been.
I mean, I feel these cars can only go so fast when you're on a 7-inch tire.
Sure.
I mean, the tire's only going to handle so much.
You know?
And I think that's what makes it a good division is you don't have a lot of tire. You got to get up on the wheel.
Yeah, they say, you know, that goes back into our 1 tire a week rule. That
Keep the right rear underneath you.
it will work. There's no question in my mind.
We were on the ride down. We were bullshitting and talking about how Greenslit killed us for a few years. He was up here.
Mm-hmm.
And this last year,
Struggled.
when you
Struggle
raise
bus.
the cream of the crop so
Yeah.
high,
Hold on a minute.
All right. So, yeah, David really made you guys look like you were out to lunch. But what did it do?
It
It
made you-
elevated the rest of the field now to his level. So now you don't just have David who's going to win every week. He has brought the rest of the division up with it. In my eyes, that's what I see. I watch all these, excuse me, watch all these races every week. You guys put on one of the best shows out of any division that races. And I'm not taking anything away from any division. I love them all. But you guys, week in, week out, full fields and cars that I get that not this car doesn't win or this one doesn't win. But any point, if anything changed at any one of those races, anybody out in the top 10 could win.
Yeah.
Any one of you guys.
There's
I mean,
100%.
and that's what
That's
you're
just how I
striving
feel.
for. That's what you're striving for as a promoter, as an owner
Yeah.
of a track. You want to have that division where you know your point leader starting 14th. If he finishes 5th, it's a hell of a good night.
Yeah.
Well, and I think by looking at the guys that have registered for this year and guys that I'm pretty confident that are going to come back and race with, there's going to be 10 at least 10 cars that are capable of winning.
Yeah.
At least 10 cars. You know, so that's
And hopefully more.
and hopefully more. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the fans don't want to see the same guy win
know,
10 races in a year.
I think Chris is going to come back and race some. I don't know if he's going to race weekly or not, but I think he's going to come back and race some.
and we chased him all year. I mean, he
Yeah.
was fast.
You know, Chris Lundquist has got a new car, and Joey Tatro and Robbie's going to have a car. He's going to race himself again. So I mean, I think
And Maddie got a lot better.
Maddie got a lot better. I mean, I know I'm forgetting somebody, but I mean,
T-Rock.
yeah, Trevor and Jim and Dylan, both Dylan and Jimmy are going to race.
Yep.
So I
Dylan
mean,
was fast at the end of last year. He was real fast.
So I mean, I think I think that division at Claremont's going to be
gonna be
stout.
exciting.
Although it's going to be fun.
All right, so we have a couple questions. I have now reassumed command over here. What is your plans? Let's see here. I lost the question. A bunch just came in at once. Brandon, what's your plan for rain dates? Where are you focused most?
So when I set up the thing with Nate and Robbie, it was if we have a contradictory rain date of a Friday night with the Thunder Road deal. My primary
Thunder
is
Road.
Thunder Road.
Yeah.
That we failed to do something this summer that
That you set out to do.
we set out to do and shouldn't have failed, but we did. So until that's done, the family house cars, we're going to be at Thunder Road.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm just looking back through here because I couldn't see any of these questions that were coming in when Ben was actually running the show for the last 15 minutes. So that was awesome.
Kevin Brown said, "Leave the rules the way they are. They're just fine." I honestly, unless something stupid happens, I can't. Ben, I can't foresee us change. I think this package is.
I haven't wanted to change the rules for the past 5 years.
Yeah. You know?
Just need to get in that one sub a year if you need to.
Yep. The one sub.
Ooh, can I get on that train too? I like a Subway card.
I need to go on
I
the
like
Subway
Jersey
diet.
Mike's better. We need Kevin back on the show. He used to bring Jersey Mike's in.
Yeah, we just
He's
had
in
one of those
chat too.
going
Miss
up
you,
by
Kevin.
us.
Yeah, if anybody, actually, Kevin Furlan just posted, if anybody's looking for a car,
Granier.
yeah.
Yeah.
go to
83G.
Cougar. Yeah,
It's a good car.
Yeah.
It's my old car. It's won
Yeah.
a championship at all 4 tracks.
That's the Cougar, right?
Yep.
That car is pretty awesome.
Yeah, reach out to
You need a tetanus
Johnny
shot for
Garnier.
it.
I really like Hayden a lot. But why in the hell would you get out of this division when it's this good right now?
You know,
That's-
I talked to his dad the other day, and he said Hayden's never really
Loved it.
liked. He loved this mini stock,
Yep.
and he's having a ball with the modified, and he really doesn't. He said, I'm not saying he'll never drive a street stock, a super street again, but he said that's just not really where he wanted
I
to
talked
be.
to his dad the other day. I believe if that car doesn't sell, you'll see him back.
I
You
hope
think
it
so?
sits on
Yeah.
jack
A
stands.
few
and
races. Yep.
The Joe race, like the Tatro Memorial, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Perfect day to bring that thing
Yeah.
out.
Steve Dickey says he's got one for sale too.
Okay.
Big shocker there. Steve Dickey selling a race car.
Yeah.
Understatement of the year. I was expecting a lot more complaining and not liking stuff, guys. It seems like you're pretty happy with the way the division's heading over here.
Yeah, I just feel if we keep it the way it is, I think we'll be real good. I mean, it'll be good
Right. You got to keep it.
for years to come.
You got to keep it one thing and keep it going.
See, this is one of those things where you get crap if you change rules, you get crap if you don't. I think Ben's main focus is let's keep what we have going and let it grow.
I mean, look at how much the division has grown at Claremont. I mean, this division it went from, 6 years ago or whatever, we had
Yeah.
8 cars
Yeah.
to now having 20, 25 cars every night.
And some really good ones.
And some good, solid cars, some great drivers.
I don't think Claremont gets enough.
Recognition.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're struggling.
Yeah, I was struggling. I really don't think it does. Based on what's there.
I wasn't there last year, but the 3 years before that I was, and I would put 2 divisions, the pure stock class and the super street class. I would put those classes up against that same type car
At those 3.
at any racetrack in New England because the quality was that good.
So, Miss Greenslit asked, any chance of increasing the weekly purses yet? We haven't released our purses yet, and I think there's always room for looking for sponsors and additional people to jump on and would help with that as well. I didn't realize when I got into back when I was just racing and having fun and showing up at the track, like I said all the same stuff. I'll be honest with you. Until you get into the behind the scenes and you see how many wheels are in motion and how many things. Like I was just saying to Mike today, I'm like, I had no clue half of this stuff ever even was behind the scenes of racing. But I know that's something that is definitely being looked at. Josh Carey asked, when are the New Hampshire tracks getting scanned for iRacing? Good question. At iRacing, we have 3 racetracks that I've been begging you to scan for 3 years. Hudson Speedway is 9.7 miles from your offices. 9.7 miles.
I'd love Hudson to get scanned.
I have offered, come on, you want to try some new equipment? We'll let you in here for free. They want $125,000 per track to have scanned that we have to pay. And they keep all the proceeds from the sales.
Me and Brandon were talking about it on the way down. I just sold all my iRacing stuff because I don't have time.
I don't know how any of these
Yeah.
people have time to do it.
I am so bad at iRacing, it hurts.
If anybody, this is my one try to make some money out of this. I have a complete iRacing setup sitting at the other office, brand new in boxes, not yours.
How much is it?
I would probably sell it for probably four grand.
Is that cheap or?
No.
It's a full 80/20 rig. It's Ben's exact rig minus the full motion D box. It's got a 49-inch wraparound monitor. It's got monitor's $1,000 itself.
He's looking it up.
Yeah, what do you say?
It's a track racer TR160. I have the T2000 pedals, and I have Yeah, I have the direct drive wheel and the pedals that match it. I
I'll
think
use it for you until
the
it
wheels
sells.
and the pedals. I think the wheels and pedals I paid like $2,000 just for those.
I paid
So.
$1,500 for my entire rig.
I have
Jeez.
my other one at my house that's fully set up.
It's sick. I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
Ben's
your-
is
your rig
ridiculous.
sick.
Guess what? It feels like you're in a freaking race car.
Ben's rig is now sitting at my office. It's 11 feet from my desk. So you guys want to come hang out? Getting back onto track here, where do you see this division in 5 years?
I mean, I'm hoping that it continues to grow. I mean, as long as, like I said, as long as we leave the rules or very, very minimal changes, I think that the sky's the limit with the division.
Cheap bastard.
I did see Hunter say too many divisions. I did pass through me. What division out of the too many that we have
Get rid
would
of the Outlaws.
need to be cut?
Outlaws.
I was gonna say,
No, stop.
I'm not
stop.
opening my mouth on
stop.
this one because that's just gonna be.
Listen,
knife going out of the-
we're in the process of stuff, and
No.
and we're listen.
You don't ever want to see one go,
No,
anyways.
and the thing is, the Outlaw guys have supported that speedway for the past 10 years.
Yep.
We're not going to turn our back on them.
Agreed.
Oh, you know,
I like what you did. They aren't racing weekly this year.
no,
They're every other
there's
week.
like 10 or 12 races. Same thing with the ACT type cars, and we'll see where it is a year from now. You know, I actually with that type of program, I think both those classes can flourish.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
I like having the ACT stuff coming back.
You know,
ACT
so
stuff's cool.
It gives some of those ACT guys that don't want to go to Thunder Road, don't want to go to White Mountains, the seat time with a I don't want to say lower quality, but it's
no, the quality will be just as good. There's
Yeah.
no question in my
oh
mind.
yeah, there's
about
going to be
that.
some great racers, but it's not the
It's not. You're not going to go.
Not the Burnett scrap metal teams that are.
You're not going to go. You're not going to have 25 cars there. You're going to go and you're going to have 12 or 14. You're going to be able to race.
Somebody who was
and you're going to make the feature.
Yeah.
somebody who was a top tier driver at our track said to me he had left and went to Thunder Road and raced on the ACT Tour, and he's like, it definitely humbled me really quick.
Yeah.
Like he goes, you can have an off day in a super street and kind of hide it. You can't have an off
Absolutely
day
not.
in an ACT car. He goes, because every single person is not having an off day
Right.
other than you. Let's see.
But that's
Brian's-
good though. That's what it's supposed to be.
Brian says, get rid of Ford Motors and watch limited sports grow. I don't know what is there more to that
I
question?
think there's only one Ford that runs, and
Yeah.
I think he's talking about Outlaws, and there's only one Ford, I believe, in that division.
I think he's trying to talk about. He's talking about ACT, not.
Oh, gotcha.
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
not
I'm
on
gonna-
the computer very often.
He's
It says Cheryl.
Yeah, no, that's my mom. Brian's not the most savvy with technology. He tries his best, but
When's he going to get back in one?
I keep telling him to, but he says he can get in. He said his doctor doesn't think like 200 Advil after is healthy because he won't be able to get out of the car.
Yeah,
I said we could get a forklift or something and lift him out.
we can pry him out of there.
Yeah.
Are you going to bring up the talk that we talked about before? Or is that
What
like,
did we talk about?
like I said, we should throw a Triple Crown in there?
Oh
Somewhere.
yeah, no, we can absolutely. We'll put something together for sure. One at Hudson, one at Lee, and one at Claremont.
That'd be sweet.
I mean, we've talked about doing that anyways. I mean, that's
Hold on.
With one of
Are
those
you
Night
gonna
Owl
go?
Creations helmets for a
yeah.
trophy.
There you
That'd
go.
be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, a new stylo all lettered up.
I without getting into much, there'll be a helmet thing this year. Just make sure you're at Lee.
Can you change that?
Actually, Claremont too.
Can you change that to Hudson and Claremont?
There's one. There will be. I believe there's something like that maybe being thought of for Claremont as well.
What about Hudson?
I don't think that one was on. That wasn't on my plan for this year. I thought.
I wouldn't hate you planning that.
Okay.
So I guess
How close
I gotta
are you
look
with
at
Greg?
schedules to see what actually fits into your schedule for.
We need a couple more sub drivers. We need to make sure it's not on a night I have a race.
was gonna say.
Nothing on July 4th weekend.
I
please.
get the whole sub driver thing. I just don't know how it could work with NASCAR.
I mean, a lot of people have not just racing as much as Brandon, but there's a lot of stuff that comes up during the year for people.
Weddings.
Well,
graduation.
That's
Yeah.
even me. Like Hudson, I missed the first race of the year because of someone at the table's wedding, and I probably would have won the championship over Milt if I showed up the first day. Kind of a chirp at him,
Hey, thanks for coming.
but like I don't know if I would have sub-drivered at the same time.
You don't think you would have put somebody in a car or put their car on the racetrack that they weren't going to race every week with a whatever number you are? I'm trying to remember. This is
Cole
bad.
Littlewith says, someone need a sub driver?
Cole will drive anything.
I did have a great time.
Why am I having him? What number is he?
57.
57.
I'm not. Listen, me
Come
personally,
on.
I'm not a fan of a sub driver because we have out of the 20 guys. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out of my ass of how many guys we're going to have race on a weekly basis. Is that fair to the guy that
Made 'em all.
that comes and competes at every race?
100%, because he has the same opportunity. And it doesn't cost him anything. It's not a cost to the racer. It's more, say that guy that wants to go to every race, great. He's like me. He has no life, wants to just race. But there's a guy out there that has a kid that's graduating high
Sure,
school
I get it.
on
Yeah.
a Friday night,
Yeah.
or there's a kid that has a wedding, or I think it's great.
I would be more.
And you guys are still going to have the car there.
You're still going to save money.
I would be more inclined for a drop race than I would be
No.
a sub driver.
No, because it makes you drive not intelligently some nights.
All right, so question for you. Hypothetically, you going into championship night. Greenslet's already destroyed his car, and he has no chance at a championship. Beecher is 6 points down, and he goes, you know what? Tonight's going to be my drop night. I'm going to put Greenslet in my car. And now he won the championship over you.
How
do you feel about
drop.
that?
I'm not for dropping.
No, not dropping, but now that's his sub race. That's he's gonna jump in
I
for.
can promise you that I'm not dropping the last race of the year to have.
I'm just saying, but you might have somebody else who chooses to do that. I'm going to make a couple phone calls this week and just see.
I don't think we can do that with NASCAR anyway.
I
So
mean,
I think it's a moot
NASCAR
point.
does it on the big.
I think it's a moot point.
All right, so Chester Clark said, so for many out there that haven't, went
It
away.
went away.
That haven't asked, what is the state of the Claremont track after Mother Nature had fun on her backstretch?
It's all done. It's all actually. I have some pictures.
Looks really good.
I'll get some pictures up over the next day or so.
Joe Carpenter said Mark Beaudry will dust off his fire suit as a. No, I will not. I went in a go-kart in Florida, and I talked smack the entire week before we went down to Florida, and then Ben had to help me get out of the go-kart because I almost had a heart attack. So, no, Mark's driving days were done 20 years ago, and that will never happen again.
One thing we can say about the situation on the backstretch, we got to thank Jeremy Zulo. Jeremy and his guys,
Phenomenal.
They did a phenomenal job. The upper wall is gone; it's not there anymore. So everything is just tapered back from the top of the wall. It's all grass seeded, and what we're going to do is the bleachers are gone on the backstretch. What we're going to do is we're going to set some more telephone poles, and all the billboards that were on the backstretch will be on top, like 8 feet or 10 feet above, so people can stand underneath them. Because if we put them where they were, we would block the entire backstretch for people standing on the backstretch. So that will be done, and we'll be in good.
I actually kind of like this because I'm going to mention something to you after. That opens up a whole new kind of spot back there to reimagine.
Oh,
Without the grandstand.
Ben and I were walking.
All right,
down
so we're
it the
already
other
on
day.
that same page?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that would be awesome.
I mean, ideally, what the coolest thing would be if we had. It's all dollars and cents. I mean, if you had a real catch fence on top of the wall, for the insurance company, but that's probably, I don't know, 150,000 for the length. Yeah, then people could bring blankets and sit on the backstretch. But we're not at that point yet. After we make some of the things that's going to happen over the next couple of years, maybe 5 years down the road, that can happen.
So Kyle Templeton said, is it a full concrete wall or waste blocks? That is a poured wall.
Yeah, on the back. Yeah,
That upper wall is gone. That's what
upper-
he were just saying. There is no
yeah.
more upper wall. That is now history.
Right.
Anything you want to let your fans know, your sponsors, any of that stuff? You want to shout out some people? This is a perfect opportunity for you guys. Where can we find you next? Where are we going to see you on the tracks? What's your first race?
Brandon would be. Well, no, he'll probably do something long before then. But
He's going to be the first one racing. He's going to New
oh
Smyrna.
yeah, he's going to Smyrna. Yep.
Yeah, I'll be at.
You're racing in Groveton.
That's not fair.
Yeah, I'll be down in New Smyrna. Speed Weeks. We run 3 nights down there, so
What nights you running?
it's the 11th, 12th, and 14th, which is Sunday, Monday,
Sunday, Monday, Wednesday.
Definitely looking for sponsors if anyone wants to help out. Any amount works for me. It's
Reach out to the Cabana Boy.
Yeah, it's definitely an expensive trip, but it should be fun. We went down last year; it was a good time.
You were good last year.
was-
You had some shitty luck, but
Yeah.
you were good.
I was a time trial hero. but-
Yeah.
I had a good picture of you coming off of 4.
Yeah.
Just so people know, like, what does it cost for a New England team to go down and field a competitive mod down there for Speed Weeks?
A lot.
Honestly.
So we had to buy a motor last year, which didn't.
Wait, but take that out because that ain't.
Yeah, it's
that ain't
probably
fair.
like 10 grand, maybe a little more. It all depends.
All depends on where you stay. All depends on
It all depends on
what-
everything. Maybe a little bit. I don't even, off the top of my head, I don't even. I'd say probably 10 to 12. Yeah, something
That
like
is
that.
nuts.
So, do you have a 604 now for the mod?
Yeah.
So we're gonna see you on opening day with the mod and the streeter.
No.
It's 3,000 to win for the mods and 1,000 to win for the streeter.
I don't think your dad likes running 2 cars in a day.
Yeah.
Your mom just said in all caps, she's listening. How much?
She's got me all fucked up now. I would love to run both races.
Yeah.
I need help.
I'll spot.
I have spotter. That's fine.
Oh.
I need someone to help me that I can scramble back and forth and just hop into cars. And
You need
go.
an Aiden, bud. You need an Aiden.
I need.
So I have. So I have
15 Aidens.
I have 3 months to harass you every other day, or your dad every other day, to make this happen.
I would love to. but
Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to know. Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
I mean, you probably could get somebody from your employer to help you.
Claremont's far. That's the only issue.
Yeah, but
Depending on what car you brought.
I bring the Troyer.
we have listen. We have a couple open modified races that they might be able to get some data from too. So sell it that way.
That's true. You want to find me a big motor, and I'll race those races too.
Yeah.
They make them every day,
They
bud.
make them every day.
They're on a shelf somewhere.
You want to start printing money? That'd be cool. Can we start printing money somehow?
Ben's already doing that.
So we're going to see you,
I'll be
Groveton.
Yeah, Groveton. But then we'll. I think we actually open our season with the Nate Kelly, Robbie Streeter 360 at Claremont. I think we get a race or two in
Last
there.
weekend in April.
Yeah,
Are
race.
you going to be at this?
Yeah, we'll be at that at the St. Valentine's Day Massacre 3.
What is that?
It's a winter race, bud.
Yeah, we'll be snowmobiling then.
Yeah, no,
Get
no.
yourself an enduro
no.
car. Come
Dude,
on.
We'll have both of our cars there. No. Oh,
that'd
I
be-
watched him
Can you get
ricochet
a
off
paint gun?
everything.
That guy took me out. That was fun.
Guy passes tech, right? Last year, passes tech. Yeah, go on the track. No, he pulls back over the trailer, backs up to the trailer, starts throwing sandbags in the back of his Mustang. Well, that's not legal. There's no way that's legal.
Mr. Greenslit, we're going to see you full Claremont Motorsports Park
Yeah.
schedule. Are you going to do any branching out at all this year,
Not 100% sure. Definitely Claremont.
other than the mod that we don't know anything about?
Yeah, we don't know what's going on there. So, but yeah, we'll be at Claremont full time and maybe hit Lee once, maybe Hudson once. We'll see.
Yeah, you have something to prove over at Lee.
I need to win a race there.
You absolutely do. Have you
I
never?
start-
What's the? Where's the top? Highest up you finished there?
Third,
Yes, you got to get
twice,
twice. Oh,
3 times. I don't know.
you're not even the bridesmaid at this point.
I mean, I always have crap luck there. I had a power steering hose blow and it's yeah.
What happened to that last race? The last one you went there, and I remember talking to you in the pit. Something was wrong with the car. You just had a horrible day. I just wish I could remember.
I think a tie rod or something was going, and the ball joint or the ball in the tie rod was moving around. So, yeah,
Oh, it sounds like a lack of maintenance.
yeah. Well,
What do you think, Brandon? Yeah.
that was the year when we were running 2 cars, 2 tracks, and trying to keep up with everything. And
That's hard.
Your wife says you lost brakes.
yeah, that's what it was. We lost brakes that time.
What's going on in your Sundays?
Go-karts. If anybody's ever been to Claremont on a Sunday and watched the kids race go-karts, I mean,
It's pretty cool.
it's cool, and that's the next
That's
up
the
and
future.
coming. Like, they'll be here with these guys.
Yep.
And I mean, if you haven't gone, go up, see them. The kids do great. You have 5-6-year-olds out there banging tires, and
They rip.
it's awesome. They rip.
rip.
Yeah.
It's fun when you see them. They could be out there nose to nose, putting each other into the bushes and all that stuff. They get out of the little go-karts. They all go and hang out, and like they're all buddies. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is what I really miss about racing.
Yep. That's what racing should be. Is if you go up there and see how those kids are, and they get into somebody, they say they're sorry.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be.
I don't know if I want to go after the race, like go play tag and stuff with
But-
you.
Oh, come on.
You go have a beer with
Didn't
me.
you guys
after.
have like
We just do it on the adult level now.
Did they have like a flag football game break
yeah.
out after the race this
Yeah.
year? Like, it's pretty cool to see that camaraderie.
It's no different than going back to the trailers though after a race and having a beer with the tech guy or having a beer with Green Slitter with this guy. Or,
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, we got done racing, and Scotty Mack pulled out this massive round of fireworks and like lit them off. I was like, "What is going on here?" It was like 4th of July. Good times to come this season. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to see good things out of all three of you. Let's see. Oh, Steve Ferland said, "At least your old car's won it, Lee."
Yeah.
Wow.
Salt in the wound.
Yeah, you know,
I was
more
really
daggers
Hayden's a
being
good
thrown.
kid, and I was really pulling for him to win that championship this year. That he does really good with what he's got, and they're a good family.
Absolutely. Like I said, coming up soon here, guys, do not forget ticket cutoff for Claremont Motorsports Park Banquet is January 13th. Go to ClaremontMotorsportsPark.com, click buy tickets right on the right-hand side if you're on the web, down halfway on the page if you're on mobile. Click that, buy yourself banquet tickets, and look at that gorgeous schedule that Mr. Parks has put together for the season. I think all three
gonna be
tracks got a
full.
pretty fun outlook of races coming up. I know that our Race Day TV people, when I sent them the schedule, they all kind of went like, "Hey, what? We're going where?" And we're going a couple other places that are yet to be announced. So 2024 is going to be looking pretty good on the Race Day TV side as well. Guys, cannot thank you enough for coming on. I know one of you just came from around the corner, but 3 of you came from hours away. So
Yeah, I
it's
appreciate
great to see you guys come
coming down a
out.
lot. That really it helps what we're trying to build.
Dinner
Greg
on
Emerson
Foxy.
said live show at Augusta. I believe, yeah, we'll be having Mr. Road Soda Randy Phillips doing a Roughing Fenders podcast show out of our booth as well.
He's always a riot.
Probably jump on with him as well, have some fun in the booth.
He's
so.
a unit. He is a unit.
100 miles an hour all the time.
Oh, he comes. Have you guys ever drank with Rough and Fenders?
Yeah, in my shop when he came to do a shop tour.
My God.
Did he hurt you?
No, he just. We drank a lot of beer, and he doesn't stop.
I did the show with Randy. I started the show with Randy, and we did it the first year-ish together.
Yep.
And then I had left to come here. Let's see, Mike, how about my 9th place trophy from the 6 shooters from 2 years ago?
It's up in the tire barn, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Andy Leclerc, did you go to the banquet? That would be my question. Did you go to the banquet?
I'm guessing he didn't go to the banquet, so it's possible that there's one there, but it's possible it's up in the barn as well. Don't know.
Other than that, let's see. Nothing else good coming in.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the weekend. We got some stuff going on coming next. No, I'm sorry. Excited for next weekend. You guys have the banquet at Hudson. Do not forget, if you did not register and you now are saying, like, I wish I could come, if you guys get to me tomorrow and you're in a non-trophy situation, I do have provisions to have a couple other people attend. So, but you need to get to me tomorrow. That is like the absolute it. I'll be at the office all day tomorrow at 9 Simon Street, except for at 2 o'clock. I have a meeting with this guy over here. Other than that, if you guys need anything, let us know. Reach out. Always reach out to the tracks.
Yes,
Still
Matt.
waiting on my ring.
We're all
I'm
set.
still waiting on Ricky Bly's size for his ring. I asked him what size it
What
was.
place did he even get?
For what?
Now, he won the Triple Crown last year, so it's a
Where?
championship trophy.
Oh,
at Monadnock.
I thought he was talking
He
about the
won the
R&R
Triple
race.
Crown?
At Monadnock, yes.
He doesn't. No. They were cheating. I guarantee it. Tech wasn't very good that night.
All right, guys, that does it for us. So we said an hour. We're at an hour and 20 minutes. But I
Guys,
mean,
again, thank you so
people are
much for
still
coming
in the
down.
room.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, have fun. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.